Assalamualaikum. We from Group 2 Algorithm Projects. My team project is an Open Math Management System, OMMS. I'm Anwar, and my team member Nurul Aina, Sahwat, Wanwar Adil Ikram, and Aiman Iqbal. For the introduction, OMMS, natural disasters are a phenomena that occur as a result of human greed in working on environment as a result of natural phenomena that occur more frequently, and this directly needs special attention in the disaster management system. As a group of the students from Computer and Information System Engineering, we decide to implement a system that can bring benefit and provide service to help those affected by any type of disaster. Open Math Management System, OMMS, is a grounded system designed to store, process, obtain, and analyze information pertaining to victim information and donor data. For the objective, OMMS, first, to design a system that helps people give and receive donation for the people that are affected by disaster. Second, to calculate and distribute the donation received to the victim that requested for funding, and to provide the current update to admin and user, and last, to organize and store the information of donor and victim. For the problem statement, we specify our three main problems that need to be solved. One, how to easily collect the victim information without giving trouble to both victim and volunteer. Second, to provide a current update to admin and user. Third, and last, to organize and store the information of donors and victims.
Thank you, Anwar, for the great briefing and introduction of our project just now. So I will continue on the methodology and how the flowchart is running. So let's go. So we start in the main menu. When the user start our program, it will go to the main menu and print welcome to omms.my, and the user will choose number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So number 1 is for the admin, number 2 is for the donation, number 3 is for the recipient, while number 4, it will exit the program. So let's go on number 1. So in the admin menu, if the user enter number 1, so it will enter the admin menu, and it will require the user to enter the username and the password. If the username and password is incorrect, then it will look until the user get the correct username and password. And then if the username and password is correct, and it will enter the next step, which is to choose the option to continue, which is to display status, display list donator, display the list recipient, and also back to the main menu. So if the user choose number 1, it will update the status recipient whether it is still in progress or incomplete. If the admin choose the number 2 to display list donator, hence it will the program will get the donator data and sort the donator data based on the amount of donation, and then it will display the sorted donator data. And then if the admin choose number 3, which is to display list recipient, then the program will get the recipient data and display all the recipient data. And then it will when the user or the admin choose number 4, it will turn back the program to the main menu. Okay, that is for number 1 on the admin menu. So let's go if they choose number 2 on the donation. If the user choose number 2, it will enter the donation menu, which is it will print for the user to choose either number 1 to display data, or register donation, or exit the program. So if the user choose number 1 on the donation menu, it will get the data of the donator and display the data donator, and the system or the program will automatically store the donator data in the txt file that was created. And then if the user choose number 2 to register the new donation, then it will require the user to enter their name, ID, age, email, and the amount of donation that they want to make. After that, it will display again all the data that the user just put, and then it will go back to the donation menu. And then if the user choose number 3, it will exit and end the program. So that is for the donation menu of number 2. So now what happened if the user choose number 3, which is the recipient? So when the user choose number 3, it will enter the recipient menu. So in the recipient menu, it will print the please enter your choice. Either the user want to choose number 1 to register new data, number 2 to search any data, or number 3 to exit the program. So now if the user choose number 1, which is to register the new data, and then the recipient will need to input the number of family, name, age, state, phone number, date, and the amount needed for the family or for the person. And then it will display again all the data that the user just key in, and then it will print registration successfully and in progress, which means the donation to them is in progress. And then if the user choose number 2, which is to search data, and then the program will get the recipient data and the donation status. After that, the user need to enter their name. And then after the user enter the name, the program will search for the name, and then it will print your data has found, and it will display the specific data and the donation status based on the name that was keyed in by the user. After that, it will return back to the main menu. But if the user choose number 3, it will automatically exit the program. So for the last one, in the user interface in the main menu, if the user choose number 4, it will automatically exit and end the program. So that is basically on how the flow of our program.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Afab Farid. My metric number is 205812. So I'm responsible to explain on the code. So first, this is the library that we've been using. So as usual, using the namespace std. So this is all the functions. So this is the functions that we've been using, and this is the global variable also we use in this code. So for the recipient data, we store it into a BSD. So firstly, we make a profile structure and store all these data, all these variables, and then we making it into a BSD. So having the root and child. So having this all the profile structure data. So making it pointing into left and right. So this is just making new node and insert node name. So we're using it sort by name, name as the root. Okay, so this is the display. This is in the admin to display all the recipient data, and this is in the recipient after they registered. It will show all the same data in the same family numbers. So this is the condition. So actually we haven't managed to implement 3 sorts, so we just use basic display period and in order traversal. So this is the boolean for searching name. Is if the name is same as in the data being stored, so it will be displayed. So this is the insertory user input in the recipient to store the data. So this is the condition and logic for it to be stored in left or right comparing. So next we move on to the donors data to be stored. So first, as usual, making a structure. We're using a profile2 structure. This is all the variables in the structure and making it into node. So node pointing to the next node until the last and then out. So display, this is just the standard condition, having the head pointing to the next data, next until now. So this is the user. So we will insert the node at the end. So the head pointing to the next data, next until the new one, and then to the now. So this is in the admin. We want to sort the data, the donors data from the least donation to the highest donation. So we use a bubble sort. So this is the int main, the hardcode, the insertion data into the BSD, so the hardcode, and this is the way to put the hardcode data into the node, making it into a linked list. Okay, so this is the example for the code we run. So first we go to the recipient, so we can register the data. For example, we want to go fast, so this is the data being stored, so we can go and search it again and see it. So the data, so this is the registration for the donors, so registration for example, and we could exit, and the admin we can enter the ID and username, so we can display all the donors and the recipient. So basically all will be processing. So we will go to the donation and register for the new. For example, we have 10,000 donations, so it will be more than needed. So we can update and see the all the data is being done for the recipient. So the update. Okay.